Hello, hello, what's all this then? Well, from the big giant letters in the centre of the screen, it's BattleTech. Bit late with this one due to various complications. Also, before we go further, warning, I'm going to be loading save just before the end of the story campaign, so there will be minor spoilers. I will avoid a major story spoiler, so without further ado, we will load. My first comment is, the loading times do seem a bit long on this game. Nothing too bad, but I mean, compared to say XCOM 2, which I'm going to be comparing this to a lot, loading times seem to be a bit longer than that on my system. Yeah, given the similarities in the game and, well, graphic levels and so on, I can't really see much reason for that. Now, while it's loading, I will of course address the point I just made. I've heard this game summed up as XCOM with battle mechs. I can't really dispute that to a lot of degrees. You'll probably be able to see if you've played either XCOM Area Unknown or XCOM 2 what I mean by that, but we will be getting into the gameplay shortly. I say shortly. Come on. Yeah, there we go. And that hung for some reason. So this is the ship. You have all your separate tabs here. You have the captain's quarters, which is your financial summaries, your reputation and customization of your mercenary outfit. Navigation, which allows you to talk to this character here, which you can talk to for some story based conversations, or the star map, which allows you to travel around. And you have sort of the underlying systems around here. You have, I can't remember which one that one is actually. The Majesty of Canopus. One of the larger major factions that you can't really go to.
Undeveloped sections of the Argo are off limits for a reason. If you aren't a member of Dr. Murad's engineering team,
Then got sort of your two main factions for the story there. Got the Capellans up here. You've got the Free Worlds League up here. And you've got the Turians over here. Now yes, it highlights contracts available in the nearby systems. Currently at this point I'm basically grinding out experience for my pilots before attempting the final mission. Final mission also has one thing I'm going to warn you about because it's not really explained very well in game. You will be warned you need to deploy multiple lances, only ever having deployed one lance throughout the entire game prior to it. What they mean by that is you'll not deploy multiple lances simultaneously. What happens is you go get several missions in a row with no break to repair mechs or heal pilots. So you have to have redundancy in your mech capacity and redundancy in your pilots. As it is, I've only got 2 lances worth of pilots and it would take me too long to train up. I'm not going to bother training anymore. I'm just going to grind out experience and keep these guys alive. At the same time I'm also trying to expand my mech variety. As it is, I've got 1 decent lance of mediums, decent lance of bit of heavies, but I've only got 2 redundant assault mechs right now. I don't like one of them, so I need to get a better mech option for that. Those planets have a difficulty rating here, attributes here, and factions over here. Now this one, which is 4 skulls, should be sufficient for my needs, so while we're travelling I will go for the rest of this. Actually, because I've got contracts, it's actually better to go into contracts, select the contract, which you'll notice is a 5 skull mission, which is what I want right now. Negotiate it. Since I'm more concerned at the moment with mech salvage, I'll up the salvage allocation here and cut the pay down right there.
Roger that, Commander. Course plotted.
So, you get your cutscene for leaving the planet. Now, while that's going on, we'll open this. Unfortunately, for some reason, I can't go through any of this while advancing time, which is a bit annoying. So we have engineering, which is your ship upgrades options. Now I'm going to make a few recommendations, mind spoilers here, but when you get this option opened up to you, you need to get this one, and then your mech bay upgrade, because until you do that you're limited to 5 active mechs, and that is a pain in the neck to try and manage, particularly if you get salvage and you have 5 mechs you will keep, and you have to storage one of them basically. Mech bay, I've got this upgrade to maximum, which is 15 as I said. For some reason I haven't repaired that Zeus, which we'll do now. So we have Zeus, a Highlander, an Atlas, a Battlemaster, an Awesome, and a Striker. A Stalker even, sorry. I don't like the Stalker. I really don't. I've modified it to be a bit more tolerable to my liking, but I really do not like this mech. So ideally I want to replace it. My medium lance is my sort of close range setup Shadowhawk. My long range sniper setup Centurion, personal favourite of mine. My Trebuchet, which is LMRs, and my Wolverine, which is again close combat. Nothing mid-range in the mediums right now. Heavies, you've got the Thunderbolt. This is sort of set up its default configuration, which is long to medium range. Dragon, which I've got set up at mid-range. Grasshopper, close range jump jets primarily. Another Thunderbolt, this one optimised for close range. Long range direct fire support PPC catapult. Long range LMR catapult, the classic. Again, personal favourite in the heavies. You've got a mid-range Orion and a close range Orion. Now, there's one other thing. You'll notice that I've got underweight warnings on these mechs. There's a reason for that if we go into refit. And this is probably the most annoying thing I find about the game. Because quite frankly, I can't see how someone didn't see this. See this? I have 0.06 tons remaining. I have 0.06 tons because I maxed out the armour and it doesn't round out to half a ton. Quite frankly, that is the stupidest design system for a mech game I've ever fucking seen. Because quite frankly, when all the other components to get the armour are done in a half-ton intervals, the fact that you cannot max out armour on a fucking Atlas no less, and still properly use your 100 tons because they didn't make the armour round out to a full ton or a half ton amount to allow you to fit it around the weapon system is... As you can see, I'm a bit peeved about this particular thing because quite frankly it is ridiculous. It is... And you'll notice that I had 2 armor mechs saying that. Close range Shadowhawk, which I maxed out the armour on. And this one I maxed out the armour on because the AI really likes to shoot my pilot, and this is the mech I've been putting him in for medium. Same for the Battlemaster, it's close range, so I maxed out its armour, and I can't use its full damage because of that. Sorry, I'll stop about that. As you might imagine, I find it really annoying. So, barracks, here's your mech warriors. Here's your experience tree. Now, you can have 2 of the first level abilities, 1 of the second level. I've come to the conclusion, I screwed this up on Giant Killer here.
I'm here.
This is a bonus for not moving. This is a bonus for melee. They are contradictory. Either you don't want to move, in which case you put them in a sniper mech, or you want them to move and punch someone in melee. So, I've come to the conclusion that actually, if you're taking the second one in the guts tree, you don't want to take the first one. Which you can do, you can take 2 first ones from another tree.
Ready for orders.
Like this, and then take a second one from a different... In fact, no, wrong one.
Orders.
Yeah, sorry, I've been focusing on tactics because this initiative thing is really beneficial once you start getting into assault mechs.
Yes, Commander.
Receiving you.
I also need to do some training.
Training complete.
The tactics guys, again, the problem is this is indirect fire minimum range, so okay, they're good for close combat, but also they're good for LMRs. So you need to choose before you go into it what you want. Do you want close combat, in which case you take basically everything. It's just I'd say after you get this stop and then get these two maxed out, then finish off your gunnery. If you want them long range, you don't want sensor lock because they're probably going to be out of sensor range in the first place. So you want to take bulwark from guts, which would be here, multi-target, which I'd recommend on every pilot right now. I'm annoyed all pilots haven't got on, and then take that one. Yeah, there's a lot more depth to customizing these pilots than you get taught about in the game by
What's the
default.
plan?
Okay, he's got a lot of experience. Here's the last one in guts. And you see I screwed this up here as well. I know. This is my guy. He's been maxed out for gunnery. Now, breaching shot is much better on sniper mechs than it is on close range mechs, because that's the one where you might be firing single weapons at a time. If you're not going to fire single weapons, which on close range mechs you're probably not going to, you don't really want breaching shot.
Standing by.
Decker here. I'm saving you up to max out piloting right now.
Ready to rock.
Coach, who's my pilot. He almost always gets things like the Atlas and the Battlemaster for close combat, waiting to max out his gunnery. Command Center, which you saw briefly. You got Darius again for conversations, and then your contracts, which obviously was selected. This is priority mission. This is the end game mission. And then you've got this for the hiring hall or store. I shouldn't have left play it, but I can't show them. But basically, store is self-explanatory. Hiring hall is self-explanatory. And the quality of the system you're in, as I showed you on the star map, determines the quality of equipment you can buy and quality of mech warriors you can purchase. Or hire, I should say, not purchase. What we're talking about, they're not bondsmen. We're 30 years before the clan here. Which brings me to the next point. 30 years before the clan, no clan mechs. And additionally, because this is basically between the fall of the Star League and the clan invasions, the more advanced tech, such as the Gauss rifles and the pulse lasers, no. Extended range also, nope. So you've got your basic lasers, small, medium, large, your basic ACs, 2, 5, 10 and 20, your basic SMRs and basic LMRs, those being 2, 4, 6 and 5, 10, 15, 20. I said there were going to be minor story spoilers. That Highlander you saw in my mech bay, that mounts a Gauss rifle. You get that from a story mission. When you get it, you will not be able to replace the ammo for it. You will not be able to replace the weapon itself. So when you get that mech, you bloody well protect it, because that's the most powerful mech you're going to have when you get it. Because you will get it before you can get assault mechs off other missions reliably. And as I said, you cannot replace that Gauss rifle. If that goes, you've lost it. Same for the ammo. You cannot replace the ammo. So you need to be careful with it. Let's get these three out. We're going to take the Stalker and the Zeus out. Bring the Highlander in and the Awesome in. Now the Atlas I recently reconfigured for a close range AC-20 build to a longer to medium range, because despite the fact that I maxed out its armour, it was getting shredded to pieces by 2 lances of mechs just concentrating their fire on it every bloody time. Decker could have the Battlemaster and Giant Killer. See, this is my core A-team lance basically at the moment. And here's your war underweight, yeah, but as I've discussed, we will not go into that again. Now, on high level missions, primarily story missions, there will be times when you don't want to deploy, say, a full lance of assaults, where you need speed, where you want to actually go, okay, it's going to be a tough mission, but you need to send your heavies because you need that movement speed. There is one mission I deployed a full lance of assaults thinking it was going to be that difficult, almost got completely screwed by not being able to get to the objective in the turn time limit. Fortunately, I had enough long-range firepower that I got sight and was able to finish the objective doing that, but you get my idea, so be careful with that. As such, make sure you do a manual save before you start story missions, because unlike the random missions, they won't re-roll their random number generator for the mission and your opponents if you do that. And as I said, if you misread it and do what I did, like take a full lance of assaults when you wanted lance of heavies, or even say 3 heavies and a medium, you're going to be in a lot of trouble if you can't reload just before the mission, reselect your lance. Yeah, it'll take you a bit longer to load than normal. Before we get into the mission, I just want to cover the fact that the tutorial does at least do a good job of teaching the basics of mech combat, as does the sort of guided tutorial level after that as well. That said, there are certain things that aren't covered, like the morale system, which is used for a couple of abilities on your mech warrior vars.
I got you.
I'm there.
And it doesn't explicitly teach you about pilot ability. You kind of have to figure that out in sort of the first proper mission after the tutorial, which is the second tutorial mission. Now you've got a lot of buildings here which can screw a line of sight. I do have a long range mech in the form of this Highlander and the Awesome, while the Battlemaster and the Atlas are both set up for close range currently. Now there is one other thing. The way the initiative system works is that the lighter the mech, the earlier in the initiative phase it goes. So assaults go last, lights go first. Vehicles, same apply based on mech class.
Confirmed.
Oh, the initiative system doesn't kick in until you detect an enemy contact. So it's now going to kick
Sensors
in.
have something.
Now with the exception of Decker, everyone else
what you
here is
got.
initiative 1. He's initiative 2 because of his
Heads up, Commander. You've got
ability.
hostile contacts inbound.
So they moved one mech that I saw, a 65 tons, so that's a heavy, and an 80 ton vehicle, so that's initiative 1.
Commander.
Thing is, that seems like it's too easy for what this mission's listed as being. Now you've got terrain effects as well, you have cover. This one's quite useful actually. We're going to sprint Decker in because you've got heavily armoured mech with medium to close range weapons.
Sensors showing
Okay,
new
it's
hostile.
that Poxy Jaeger modification. Oh no, that's a default Jaeger even. All that, that's the default Sniper Jaeger, so getting in close that's actually a good idea. Thunderbolt, what's it got? Just LMRs. It's between the evasion and the bonus from the minimal field. Wasn't going to do much. 85 ton, oh what is that? I don't know what the
I've been
85
sent to
tons
lock.
are, that might be another Victor.
Hey, yup.
Okay, so Coach, he's a close range mech, so we're not going to fire, we're going to sprint him in. Well, he's not close range, he's a mid range mech I should say. I keep forgetting I reconfigured it because I only did it a short time ago. Okay, 90 ton. That might be a... That's either another Stalker with that many LMRs, possibly a Banshee.
Reporting.
I've got parts
Minimal
for
damage.
Banshee, but I don't think I've got more than one. So I need at least 2 parts off that mech to finish it. Now the advantage of my Highlander, this is an assault mech with jump jets and a Gauss rifle. So you can do this. Now, I should point out this did come with very good LMR 20 and that got blown to pieces, hence 2 LMR 10s. Now, this is not advisable in this situation because of the way everything works. You'll notice I have 65 and 60% chance because of this evasion. But I want to demonstrate the breaching shot
Engaging multiple targets.
ability, which you didn't see proc because it wasn't focused on my mech. But because he's not in cover, so it's less effective, basically. Breaching shot ignores cover, and that's a Demolisher. Okay, just a word of warning, Demolisher's probably the most dangerous vehicle you're going to encounter in this game because they mount dual AC-20s. If they get close enough to shoot you with them, you're in trouble. Particularly if they do what they seem to have got a habit of doing against me and just one-shotting your mech cockpit.
I'm under heavy fire.
Right.
Good to go.
Now, let's deal with this one, shall we? He's barely got any armour left from that Ghost Rifle shot. This will probably kill him.
Acknowledged.
Now I use the precision shot down there, which allows me to make a cool shot, which allows me to target a particular part of the mech. You can do this on shut down mechs or knocked over mechs without using the ability, or you can use your cool shot ability, which costs morale. Morale is basically gained by blowing your enemy up. Blowing parts of their mech off, blowing mechs up entirely, knocking them down, backgating them, and spend up those abilities. Which you have vigilance, which is a defensive bonus, and precision shot, which is an offensive bonus. It's a stalker. Okay, so that was the only 5 So that, yeah, the 91 right there's got to be a Banshee then. Yeah. Yeah, the 90 ton's got to be a Banshee then.
What are your orders, Skipper?
Now, you notice he's only got indirect lines of fire there, but he has direct lines of fire there, so even though he's not going to be in the mineral field, that's where we're going to go put him. Target is Thunderbolt.
Engaging target.
And there's the ability. A couple more hits will knock it over. Oh, it's a Highlander! Now, once it's filled up, you go to unsteady, and then basically any hit that deals stability damage is going to knock you over. But fortunately, they're out of moves this turn, except that Demolisher. So it's unlocked. Oh crap, that Demolisher's probably going to get in range. I'm probably not going to be able to kill it. Yeah. So they might actually knock that mech over. But we're going to concentrate fire on the Thunderbolt for now, and see if we can eliminate that. Now you'll notice all those were above 80% and yet I only got one hit. That is the way the game goes, unfortunately. That and the mech will not die syndrome I've encountered, which is basically you take the centre torso down to just needing one hit and then you manage to hit every other part of the mech, with every other attack, blowing off all the armour, but never land that one hit that would kill it on the centre torso. Now you see the centre torso still got most of its armour, only by this menu. But that one hasn't, and the way this works is damage is transferred inwards. So any excess damage I do blowing off the right torso gets transferred to the centre, but it's also going to take out any weapons on the right torso, and if you take out the right or left torso it takes off the respective arm. So we're actually going to target that. You know, they're on 95% hit chance for each of them, 79 to hit the component I'm aiming at. And I didn't quite kill it, but I've knocked that mech down, pushing it back in initiative phase, which was done by precision shot anyway, so if it could go to 0 it would, but it can't go lower than 1. And now I can make cool shots without using the ability against that. And oh crap, they're going to knock Decker down, which means his initiative gets knocked back. He can still go first because of
Oh, that really hurt.
and he of course he's been injured as well. There's a knockdown in his life. He still goes first because my move regardless, because of the way the phases pass. In that basically it always rotates turns even through phases unless someone doesn't have mechs to act in that phase. And we're going to move him into cover. Also got your heat gauge here. Very important, don't overheat your mechs. Let's see if we can finish this guy off. Probably his right torso. That also injures pilot's torso being blown up.
Solid connection on that one.
So he should stand up next. Yeah, that's what I thought. Also, the AI pretty much always moves its mechs in a particular order unless initiative changes. So the Highlander will almost certainly move next, then the Demolisher last, because that's the order the AI will go. Whereas he's got a problem, he needs to basically move and hunker down to vent heat next turn.
Losing armor. Skipper?
Now, ideally I want to get a direct fire shot on that. Okay, that's the best I'm going to do. I was hoping for the Demolisher, but I'll have to try that with the 2 sniper mechs up here. Oh, high ground elevation gives you an aiming advantage. Almost forgot to mention that, but it doesn't explicitly tell you that in any of the tutorials I know. That's the Highlander. That's the Thunderbolt. You notice I have like 45% chance for the medium lasers. But he's only got 67 health for his structure for said torso, which is basically what I'm most likely to hit from this angle. Which is again another thing. And to remember is angle of attack affects what we look like. And there goes. We have nothing on that side other than his leg that I can hit from that angle.
Tango
Really.
is trash, Skipper.
You see, I got morale for that. There's the Highlander. And they've exposed the structure on that mech, but I can't see until my turn what they've exposed. So they've exposed his torso here, which I'd rather they did destroy. So we're going to use a precision strike again. And the reason I'm doing this is to try and get all the damage on the same arm facing. 150, 112, 150. Yeah, so you'll notice obviously armours are tank like you expect. Side is weaker than front and turret, and rear is weaker than both. Now that needs 112. Ghost rifle does 75, and then I can do up to 40 from each of these. So that's 80 plus 75, which is 135 damage total. It'll take 112 to get through that. And yeah, he's got 142 health, so I cannot kill him if I breach the side armour with this mech, even if everything hits the side armour. But we're going to try it anyway, so I can finish him off with the alternates. You notice a lot of those missiles seem to have hit the turret because we didn't even breach the armour. And this is going to hurt. Yeah, so he took a hit to the torso that was already exposed and hit somewhere else.
Commander?
Now its side is still facing me. I don't want to spend my remaining morale on a precision shot. Also need to stop an overheat, so I need to turn off one PPC. And you notice only one of those hit, by the looks of it, exposing the structure. Now you probably go shoot Decker. He's going to knock him down again. And not only did he hit the head, he... No.
Damn it! I'm wounded.
So that pilot is now badly injured. He's missing the right arm on his neck. Yeah.
Commander?
Stacked up. Look, lost 4 medium lasers, including a very good one there. Because he blew off the other side torso with that attack.
Regain
Now,
footing.
the most effective way of dealing with the vehicle is actually this.
Moving to position.
I mean, it doesn't use a weapon, I'm not building up any heat. So that'll cool him down and he gets evasion with move.
Reporting. One less vehicle.
Problem is, he's in a really bad spot because his other torso so weak. They've overheated that mech, dealing damage to their structure. Still hits up, unfortunately. And then another head hit for the injuring the pilot.
Armor breach. Internal damage.
Yeah, even max out armor, this Battle Master is made of paper. I'm thinking I'm going to have to reconfigure it for long range again.
Waiting for orders.
Move the Atlas into a better firing position. Notice I've got a heat problem on the Atlas as well. Stalker's likely got the lighter armor, so we're going to target that. Turn off the large laser. Yes, the Highlander firing only the gas rifle of the 2 miles is basically sinking all its heat at once.
Engaging target. Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Now it's knocked down, so we can make cool shots against it now. Either I can fire 2 PPCs this round because of the heat. But we're probably, and unfortunately her tactics aren't high enough to
Copy
make
that,
the best of this, so
Commander.
they 48% chance to hit the torso. Which we did, so that's taken out half of their weapon supply. But she's going to basically have to sit next to her
Yes,
now and
Commander.
vent heat. Now, let's see what have I got. Still more damage shooting than melee right now.
Confirmed.
Now, this gives me a rear shot of the Highlander's armour, but he'll almost certainly move first next to... No, in fact the Stalker, if it's still alive, will move. But I don't intend for it to be still alive. It's still going to be alive. Of course, its weapon fire is limited due to the heat. Since basically your damage destruction if it overheats again, so it can't really risk doing so.
Confirmed.
Now the Atlas, because of the heat problem, I am going to just walk up and punch
Roger
it.
that, Commander.
This will probably kill him. Depending where I am. So wrecked. Problem now is that Highlander is probably going to turn around and kill Decker. Which I really can't afford for him to do. No, he's going after the Atlas still.
Standing by.
He just needs to vent heat.
Acknowledged.
Right. Okay. Low chance, let's try it. Well, I hit the head with one of the missiles. Didn't kill it though.
Receiving you.
Now this is going to allow me to demonstrate one of my other problems with this. If I fire, in fact actually I won't demonstrate because it's a waste of morale, but basically if you fire
Heading
from
out.
from behind you're only allowed to target send the rear armour on the torsos.
Targeting
You're not allowed to make
physical
cool shots against
attack.
the arms, leg or head from behind for some reason. So when you try to chase down a target and then say an assassination mission is not particularly helpful. Now, knocking it down doesn't do any good because he's just going to get up again. Because it's his turn, which resets his ability. However, I will salvage this Highlander, so what I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to refrain from trying to kill him. I'm just going to knock the pilot out by knocking it down, which means I need to focus on doing stability damage and targeting parts that I haven't injured. Which, with Decker in his current state, is a risk, because if you fire on Decker, Decker's probably toast. But we can
Acknowledged,
do it.
Commander. I'm on him.
Commander.
3 PPCs. Now we can't
Roger.
pick a target,
Target
so
confirmed.
fire, I think. And down he goes. That's 3 injuries to the pilot. I'll aim for the head.
Engaging target.
And I got it. So much for plan A.
Orders.
So now my objective is to finish it off as quick as
Firing.
possible.
Critical hit, Commander.
And now hope he doesn't shoot Decker. I mean, he did lose his PPC, but at this range it's more the missiles I'm concerned about. Now, you see, for some reason he's not trying to kill Decker, which is odd. That would have been a best move, get him out of the fight as quickly as possible.
Ready to rock.
But never mind, we can fish him off.
Bye-bye.
So there we go. Took a lot more damage to that battle master I would like, a lot more injuries to Decker that I would like. And I'm probably going in future to switch him and Coach around. Give Decker the Atlas and put Coach in the Battlemaster. Yeah, you can see all the damage I did there. 32 days he needs to heal. So I'm going to get the Highlander part because I want that. Now I could complete this Thunderbolt, or I could complete this Jaeger. I don't actually care about either though. So I'm just going to complete the Thunderbolt because I don't want the Stalker, I don't want the Jaeger. Don't really care about any of these weapons. Oh, got the Stalker anyway, because the rest of that loot was randomly assigned.
That mech you asked for is cleared for fighting.
As you can see, I don't have a room. Now I do have two of the same Thunderbolt in different configurations. I'd rather keep them however, so we're just going to sell that one, which earns me more than the entire mission did in terms of pay. Now we need to repair the Battlemaster. So we need two heat to reconfigure to the same setup we had. We want 2 heat sinks. And 3 medium lasers. And then we replace that arm. Requires another medium laser. One, 2, 3, 4. And as you can see, 84.88 tons. Then you got to repair the other damaged components. Or we'll go just repair all. Now, here's my problem. This Battlemaster, it's got plenty of armour, but they keep blowing it to smithereens. Problem is, I can't really fit for long range without stripping a load of this weaponry off because of the ridiculous way this works. So medium laser, 1 ton, max range 270, optimal 180, min 0, damage 25, heat 10. Large laser, 5 ton, damage 40, optimal 300, max 450, heat 30. So, and it takes 2 slots, but that's not really an issue right now. This does 4 times the damage. No, not even 4 times the damage, sorry. 3 times. Hang on. This does less than twice the damage of a medium laser, and it costs me 5 times the weight, 3 times the heat, and has less than twice the maximum range. This is a problem with large lasers in their entirety. Unless you're doing a dedicated long range or medium range build, the amount of damage you're sacrificing is insane. Because to put this on, I'd have to strip off 5 medium lasers. You can't take a heatsink, really, because like 3 of these are covered by that anyway. But so I'd have to strip off all 3 of them, 1 of them, and 1 of them. Or more precisely, 2 of them, 1 of them, and mount it somewhere. And this is on a mech that's fairly fast and fairly well armoured for an assault mech. So it's not really practical to fit it for long range. And that's not what the chassis is designed for. As you can see, I'm using half what I made off that Thunderbolt to repair this now. Effectively 2/3 of the mission's pay. Otherwise.
Logged and noted.
That's one thing you need to account for at high level missions. Yes, you might want the salvage for the assault mechs or the heavy mechs, but at the same time you're going to take more damage. You're going to be spending more of that mission pay on repairs and not putting it in the treasury for other things like ship upgrades and monthly costs. Okay, I think that covers everything I need to tell people about BattleTech, so I shall leave it there. Au revoir.